Hi everyone, Comic Reviewer here, this time reviewing on issue 12 of Transformers Armada. Now, as we left off, the other minicons have escaped back on Earth from their moon base, and it starts off with Alaska. One of the escape pods crashes with some of the minicons still intact. Meanwhile, Scavenger and Smokescreen are like, my circus is slizzling, and I got sand in uncomfortable places. I know, Smokescreen, I know. I know exactly, having a great time myself. But Prime was right. And so they have a look, which turns out that they're building a missile. Now, the problem is with the Dreamwave continuity of this one, is that we hardly know anything about Wheeljack and also Sideways. I feel like they could have done some storylines with them, but it comes off as missed opportunities. And yeah, so meanwhile, Optimus and Red Alert are talking, saying, Prime, I have a coded transmission from Southwestern Grid 9. I think it's Smokescreen. I decoded and enhanced. He's probably having to balance it along a trend line. So they find that the message isn't working. And meanwhile, Optimus talks with Red Alert and saying, like, whatever happens down there, it's clearly happening now. Assemble all available personnel, we're going in. Alright! See, Astroscoop, didn't I tell you? The first hunt of the minicons in trouble and Prime's rowing. The minicons? So they start talking stuff with Optimus looking on without any dialogue. And meanwhile, Megatron is testing the minicons that he got from the moon base, and power beyond measure. Megatron? What's happening? What's wrong? Indigestion. So Megatron can't handle the power, and detaches Dolber, Drillbit, and Buzzsaw, and he's like, explain. Hey, the power's there for the taking, but at a price. Just a little failsafe. I thought to include our own sifting folders a few years back. So just as Megatron is going to crush him, he decides that he can't because they are his own ticket. So he decides to use Cyclonus as a volunteer. Now, it's like I've said before that mainly with the Transformer model toys, there would be these little ports in the action figures and the minicons that you would buy in the Toys R Us, or, you know, would be planted onto the shoulders, the legs, and so on. So meanwhile, at Northern Alaska, some of the other minicons are looking around for anything. Meanwhile, one of them sees, yeah, I'll take a tomato torch to cut through all these permafrost. And meanwhile, I was like, working shifts, I figured I'd take us. And then he sees Frost saying, hey, watch where you're going. So meanwhile, the minicons are debating on, cutting ties with Optimus and the others. And they're like, Mirage, can't you say something to convince them they're better off here? Say what? So meanwhile, Optimus and Sparkplug talk, and he offers to give them any resources and anything to help them with their mission. So Frost starts going after the minicons. One of them blasts Frost in the eye, and they head off with Frost saying, okay, if it's sport you want, let's play. But I should warn you, Frost always wins. So just then, one of them end up getting knocked out, and Frost sees that Cyclonus saying, oh, you. Me? Okay. And yeah, he's pretty much using the other minicons as part of Megatron's little experiment. And he's like, Megatron, this is Fluss. Look, I found your minicons. A few more besides. They're down deep, but I can handle this. He's like, busy to sport between you, Megatron out. So they start to go for it, until they end up getting into each other's way. Meanwhile, while Scavenger and Smoke's are talking until Laserbeak says, easy on the trigger fingers. Laserbeak, where's Prime? Where's the cavalry? Otherwise engaged. Prime said to engage. Whatever countermeasure I think are appropriate to the situation. Appropriate? Now he tells us. Yeah. As of 20 minutes ago. So the missile takes off, which forms this big satellite, which Megatron has plans to use it as a weapon. So the story, kind of alright, but I feel like it missed opportunities to include Sideways, Tidal Wave, and Wheeljack, and the story comes off with more trying to use what plot they can. It deserves a thumbs in the middle. Kind of alright, but could have been better. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.